You see the Ferris wheel, silhouetted against a perfect Instagram purple sunset. You see the flower crowns, the glitter, the $18 avocado toast, the perfectly curated, sponsored fit checks. You see Coachella. You see a party, a vibe, a 3-day weekend of performative bliss. I see something different. I see a war, a logistical campaign more complex, more brutal, and more demanding than a Roman invasion of Gaul. I see a strategic nightmare that would make Julius Caesar himself break out in a cold sweat. You think I'm kidding? You think 125,000 influencers are easier to manage than 5,000 battle-hardened, disciplined legionaries? Stick around, a Roman soldier had it easy. Welcome to Critical Path, where we explore stories and innovations about our global supply chain that connect our world to your everyday life. And today, we are driving our air-conditioned rental car straight into the desert to wage a two-front war. On one side, we have the gold standard of ancient efficiency, the Roman legion on the march. On the other, the gold standard of modern luxury, the Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival. We're going to compare them on the 4 pillars of the apocalypse for any logistician, ancient or modern: water, food, infrastructure, and waste. And I'm going to prove to you that the poor, clipboard-wielding, perpetually on a walkie-talkie production manager for Coachella has a way harder job than the Roman quartermaster. Let's set the stage. This is Indio, California. Normal population? About 90,000. It's a desert. A hot, dusty, arid desert. This is the Empire Polo Club. For 2 weekends a year, its population swells to over 125,000 attendees per day, plus tens of thousands of staff, vendors, and artists. For 72 hours, this patch of grass becomes the 30th largest city in California, from scratch. And then it vanishes. A Roman legion? About 5,000 men. A tough, disciplined, mobile unit. Their job? To march, to build, to fight, to conquer. Coachella's legion? 125,000 citizens whose only job is to be entertained. The Romans' needs were survival level. The Coachella attendees' needs are luxury level. And that is where the logistical nightmare truly begins. Pillar 1. The water problem. Let's start with the basics. Aqua. The Romans were masters of water. They built aqueducts that stand to this day. They were geniuses. But on the march, their strategy was simpler. They planned their entire route around rivers. A legion didn't just wander into the desert of Gaul, they followed the water. A Roman soldier's water logistics consisted of a water skin, a leather bag. He'd fill it with, probably warm, slightly funky, river water. His quartermaster might add some posca, a mix of sour wine and vinegar, to kill the bacteria, and that was it. His life depended on it. His expectations were, please let this not give me dysentery. Simple. Brutal. Effective. Now Coachella. It is in a desert. The average temperature is 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 38 Celsius. It is an actively hostile environment. The festival needs millions of gallons of potable municipal-grade water, not just for drinking, but for everything. They need it for sanitation. We're talking thousands of flushing toilets. Not just holes in the ground. Flushing. Toilets. They need it for safety. Misting stations that run 24/7 to prevent 125,000 people from literally cooking. Medical tents. They need it for luxury. VIP showers. Sinks. Fountains. They have to build a temporary, high-pressure municipal water system for a city of 125,000 people, in a desert, for 72 hours. The Romans just found a river. But you know what? That's the easy part. Let's talk about the real water problem at Coachella. Let's talk about the cold chain. A Roman's cold chain was, well, it wasn't. His water was warm. His gruel was hot. He was fine. Coachella runs on ICE. Ice. That beautiful frozen luxury item that melts. Think about the logistics. You need ice for every single bar to make the $22 vodka sodas. You need ice for every single food vendor to keep their ingredients safe. You need ice for the medical tents to treat heat stroke. You need ice for the artists, riders, which probably demand that the ice be hand-carved from an Arctic glacier by a blind monk. You need ice for the glamping sites. This isn't a one-and-done delivery. This requires a non-stop, 24/7 convoy of refrigerated trucks, driving into a 100-degree desert, navigating festival traffic, to deliver a product that is actively trying to destroy itself. The sheer, staggering amount of energy, planning, and diesel fuel required to get a single, cold drink into the hand of an influencer is unironically more complex than watering an entire Roman cohort for a week. The Roman quartermaster's job: find river, don't die. The Coachella manager's job: maintain a sub-zero cold chain for 80 acres of desert in triple-digit heat for 72 hours, don't fail. Who's crying? The Roman. He's crying. Pillar 2. The food problem. Let's talk about rations. The Roman legionary was a marvel of supply chain efficiency. He was the Marian mule. He carried his own impedimenta, his gear, which included his cooking pot, his sickle, and 15 days' worth of unmilled grain. That's it, grain. Hardtack. Gruel. His quartermaster's job was to supply that grain. It's stable. It doesn't spoil. It's light. It's energy dense. And if, God forbid, the supply line, the commiatus, was cut, the legion would forage. Forage is a very polite Latin word for, we are going to steal all your cows, burn your village and take your grain, thanks. The Roman soldier's expectation: I will receive my daily allotment of beige-colored paste. It will not be delicious. It will keep me alive. Now, Coachella. 125,000 citizens who have been on a keto juice cleanse for 6 weeks to prepare for this. They are not eating gruel. Coachella has over 100 food vendors, and we're not talking 100 hot dog carts. We're talking high-end sushi, we're talking gourmet wood-fired pizza, we're talking vegan poke bowls, we're talking $24 a plate curated culinary experiences. This is a high-end food court, in the middle of nowhere. This requires a just-in-time inventory system that would make Toyota proud. These vendors don't have storage. They don't have walk-in freezers. This requires a constant stream of, you guessed it, refrigerated trucks. Trucks bringing in the fish for the sushi. Trucks bringing in the fresh basil for the spicy pie. Trucks bringing in the arugula for the salads. Let's pause on that for a second. The arugula. The Roman quartermaster's worst-case scenario: the grain got wet. The Coachella manager's worst-case scenario: the arugula has wilted. The supply chain required to prevent arugula wilt in a 100-degree desert is a logistical miracle. It requires a perfect, unbroken cold chain from the farm to the refrigerated truck, to the refrigerated tent, to the prep station. Also, it can be served farm to table for $24. The Roman just stole a goat. A Roman soldier's complaint: this hardtack is extra hard today. A Coachella attendee's complaint, probably posted to TikTok: this $28 poke bowl is not sushi grade, the avocado is 5% past prime, and this is literally the worst thing that has ever happened to anyone. The Roman quartermaster would have had them flogged. The Coachella manager has to manage this 125,000 times over. Pillar 3. The infrastructure problem. This is the big one: building the city. The Romans were geniuses at this. Their castra, their camp, was a standardized fortified masterpiece. At the end of a 20-mile march, the soldiers would build it themselves, every single night. They'd dig a 12-foot ditch, build an earthen wall, lay out a perfect grid of streets, put up their leather tents. It was shelter, and it was defense. It was a self-contained, standardized, brilliant piece of engineering. But that's it. The infrastructure was dirt and leather. The power grid was a campfire. Now, Indiopolis. The camp is a city. The shelter isn't just tents, it's thousands of pre-booked $5,000 safari tents. It's $10,000 yurts. It's the stages, the Gobi tent, the Sahara tent, the massive 120-foot-high, multi-ton main stage. These aren't tents. These are temporary industrial buildings that have to hold hundreds of tons of lights, speakers, and video screens, all while being structurally sound and, not collapsing on a beloved headliner. The power? A Roman's power grid was a torch. Coachella requires its own temporary power grid. It sucks down megawatts of electricity. They have to build a purpose-built substation just to handle the load. They lay miles of heavy-gauge cable to power the lights, the sound, the vendors, the charging stations. Oh God, the charging stations. This brings us to the real infrastructure, the most critical, non-negotiable, life-or-death utility in the entire 21st century city. It's not water, it's not food. It's Wi-Fi. A Roman centurion's most vital message: the Gauls are attacking the North Gate. Send the 10th cohort, delivered by a sweaty guy running across the camp. A Coachella attendee's most vital message: a 4K video of them, posing by the Ferris wheel, captioned, "Living my best life, kin," delivered to 2 million followers, instantly. One of these is survival. The other is social survival. And I'll tell you which one the citizens of Indiopolis care about more. The festival producers must deploy a temporary 5G and Wi-Fi network more powerful than most small American cities. They have to bring in COWs and COLTs, cells on wheels and cells on light trucks, which are basically mobile cell towers. They have to manage the data load of 125,000 people, simultaneously uploading high-definition video. If that system goes down, the entire event is a failure. The Roman quartermaster didn't have to worry about the upload speeds for 125,000 simultaneous live streams. He just had to make sure the ditch was deep enough. It's a different world. It's a different war. And finally, Pillar 4, the waste problem. This is the unseen battle. The real war. The reverse logistics campaign. What did a Roman legion leave behind after a one-night castra? Not much. They'd bury their waste. They'd fill in the latrine pits. Maybe leave some broken pottery. They'd burn what they could, pack up their leather tents and march on. It was someone else's problem. The land was conquered. Now Coachella. They are not conquering the Empire Polo Club. They are renting it. And it is an 80-acre, multi-million-dollar, pristine, championship-level polo field. They are contractually obligated to return it to that pristine, playable condition in just a few days. This is reverse logistics. And it is a multi-million-dollar nightmare. Let's start with the cause: human waste. A Roman legion dug a hole. Coachella requires thousands of portable toilets and hundreds of luxury bathroom trailers. These are not dig and forget. They must be serviced, constantly. This requires a shadow army, a fleet of honey wagon vacuum trucks, running 24/7, in and out of the festival, to suck out the waste and transport it to a proper treatment facility. It's a thankless, Sisyphean, and unbelievably complex job. And then, the trash. 125,000 people for 72 hours. We are talking hundreds of tons of garbage, plastic water bottles, beer cups, food wrappers, cardboard, and gangon, glitter. So taga, much glitter. The Roman army was zero waste by default. They owned their gear. They ate all their food. The Coachella army is the opposite. It is a single-use army. The Roman vastatores, the raiders, were experts at destroying a landscape. The Coachella cleanup crew are experts at restoring one. They have to sort everything: the recycling, the compost, the landfill. They have to run magnets over 80 acres to find tent stakes. They have to pick up every last cigarette butt and sequin. It's the same scale of operation as a Roman scorched earth campaign, just in reverse. And it's way harder. So, who had it harder? The Roman quartermaster's job was survival. His citizens were disciplined, hardened soldiers who expected hardship. Their needs were not dying. The Coachella production manager's job is curated, high demand, temporary luxury. Her citizens are customers. They are the most demanding people on earth. They are paying thousands of dollars to be there. Their needs are the perfect, frictionless, Instagrammable experience. And that is infinitely more complex, infinitely more brutal. The Romans built a permanent empire out of roads, concrete, and gruel. We build temporary empires out of Wi-Fi, cold chain logistics, and spicy pizza. The miracle of Coachella isn't the music. It's not the art. The miracle is that 125,000 of the most demanding people on Earth can go into a hostile desert for 72 hours, have every luxury of a modern city, and then, a week later, it vanishes. Like it was never there. A Roman legion? They'd be lost at the water station complaining about the lack of Wi-Fi. What's your favorite logistical nightmare? Burning Man? The Super Bowl? The Eras Tour? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to discover more fascinating stories about how the global supply chain impacts our everyday lives, please like and subscribe.